Hello, welcome back to Dark and Dicey. We appreciate you joining us on this very fine Labor Day. Hello. Yes, for this week, as you see, Nate is not here with us, so instead of, again, of course, the amazing Amanda Miller will be joining us one more time.
I'm just slowly eating the
absorbing them.
I'm sweating.
Perfect. Last time, just to get you caught up real quick, things have happened. I feel like I said at the
good summary.
Every episode, things have occurred. The party members spent last episode trying to find Werblin's daughter on this slave ship that was docked at the Allhaven docks, wherein they encountered an old merc friend of his named Duraxis, who has more or less gone off and started working for the opposition team, as it were. He managed to corral the party members into this weird kind of slave death fight thing with little goblin friends who may or may not have been effective. R.I.P. Peter. He's still down there, by the way, trying to drown himself. We'll see what happens. Afterwards, they were able to acquire a magic shield from Duraxis after Amanda handily slew him with her overpowered axe. Trixa spent the episode leading her undead horde from the city gates all the way back to Fairheim, which is where we'll be joining her shortly. Afterwards, after the entire boat scenario, they discovered that Fairheim was under attack by Winkerbean's armada. It seems that in their, or at least in Trixa's destruction of about a third of the Allhaven population, Winkerbean has been now ordered to kidnap said amount from other places on the island, including Fairheim. So he has more or less left the town in a kind of crumpled, destroyed wake. And at the very end of the episode, we had a encounter between Werblund and Winkerbean. We see that Winkerbean has Lizzie Wirecheek, Werblund's daughter. And they have just now retreated from the docks, and the boats are starting to leave the harbor because Winkerbean had detected the telltale sign of a zombie horde, the moaning thereof in the distance.
I try to distract him.
It's too late. He's already figured it out. So as he boards the ship and as they start to pull back from the harbor, you notice Trixa coming out of the path from the woods, being flanked on all sides by this literal zombie horde marching mindlessly after her. Absent are Eki and Korth, who have separated from you to deliver what they have retrieved from the top of the end spire, which you weren't, the player weren't here for this, but Eki did retrieve a tiny piece of the Phylactery, a small shard of the gem.
Tiny piece?
A tiny piece of it.
Can't be good for it.
It's not good for it, but there it is. So you've acquired a tiny shard of Dwight's Phylactery, which they are rushing off right now to deliver to him. Otherwise, you're back in Fairheim. Things have looked better. Things are on fire. The statue of Anya is shattered. The pretty cook is sort of half in ruins. The church and orphanage have been knocked down. A lot of the housing has been destroyed.
Was this by Winkerbean's people?
Yeah.
Bastard.
A lot of the townsfolk you're used to seeing around are just plain gone, taken onto as slave ships. But in front of you are Kovacs, Werblund, and Tala, and Pluck. However, as you approach, you do notice that Pluck very quickly runs off towards the pretty cook in search of his children. So we'll see where that leads him. But for now, that's what you come to.
The orphans were taken as slaves on his ship?
You don't know where the kids are, and you don't know where Pluck's babies are. You have not encountered them in the short time that you've gotten back to town.
So it is possible that them chanting about slaves at the beginning of the show is massive foreshadowing.
Oops.
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 Successant.
Successant. So that is your situation.
When I see all this, I go like, whoa, 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 to all my zombies, and I'm like,
They all sort of
okay, stop killing people.
one of them puts like
So they're with you.
Oh, hey guys.
This isn't as bad as I'd hoped.
It's around 200 something zombies.
And they're with you.
Hey, White, look. Do a cartwheel.
They all sort of like attempt all at once, and just this domino effect, dead body just sort of like.
Limbs fall off.
Isn't that
7
cool?
acrobatics.
No, listen, see, you're trying to do too much at once. Watch this. I command undead, one in the front, do a cartwheel. Do it right.
Right.
You're asking a lot of these zombies. The limberest one stands to attention and does a very impressive. He plants his rotting hands into the ground and launches himself over a tree proper and lands perfectly, shattering one knee, but in a perfect dismount. He rolled a natural 20. So, you know.
How's that for necromancy?
Wow.
Now he has a
I
hobble.
really missed a lot, didn't I?
Did you learn a lot with Mr. Man?
Are you referring to Dwight?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a very enlightening mentor.
He taught you how to teach gymnastics.
Oh, I already knew how to do that.
What else did you learn?
Oh, you'll see.
So you got off the ship, that's good.
Warblin just starts to wander towards the water's edge.
All right. In the distance, you do see, though Winkerbeam's ships are pulling away from the harbor. The Thizmanar ships are noticeably starting to sail closer now. Now that they've been revealed, there's no more reason for them to stay hidden in the mist. So
Towards us or towards Allhaven?
just towards land, they've surrounded the island. All these warships, and a few of them, yes, are headed towards Fairheim.
So who are these guys?
Thizmanar.
But Winkerbean left?
Winkerbeam is not part of the Thizmanar Navy proper. He has his own mercenary armada. So he's done here.
Yeah.
However, the Thizmanar warships, now that they've been revealed, you know, what's the point of staying out there anymore? They're coming.
So, done here as in he's done with the Black Steel Isles?
No, he's done with his current job, which is to take the citizens from Fairheim onto his slave ships to replace the ones murdered by Trixa.
Context. Okay, so how far? There's a beach near Fairheim that.
Yeah. I mean, those Thizmanar ships probably won't reach land for another, you guess, 25, 30 minutes. They're still quite a ways out.
How many zombies do I have now?
Around 200.
Oh, nice.
This might be a long shot, but could I try to sense Lucian? If that's something I could even...
You got sense evil, right?
Yeah.
It's a little... If you were to try to sense evil from one of the ships, they are very, very far out. You might get a very vague idea, but it won't be anything specific.
Gotcha. Yeah, all right. That's fine. I'll hold off.
I tell the zombies, try to clean up this town as best you can. Don't eat anyone.
They all just sort of shamble off, doing various tasks. One of them kicks a plank of wood away from the base of the church.
Yeah, good job.
But yeah, they start doing random things like that. One of them trips over the remnants of Anya's statue. And when he does, I'd like for you guys to make a perception roll really quick.
Oh.
1.
You're laughing at the zombie. You're like, you're dead.
I'm far away anyway.
6.
4.
4.
7. But do I
7.
add the other stuff, or is that just in battle?
You can. Do you have bonuses to perception?
No, I do not.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. 7 was the highest.
7 was the highest.
Very astute, guys.
What you get from your 7 roll is that the zombie has tripped over Anya's hand, right? The portion of Anya's statue that was her hand with her finger pointed out like this, and it's next to the hand is a series of. Unfortunately, now that the zombie's tripped over it, is a series of kind of blurred out, kind of messed up scrawling next to the finger.
Okay.
And you can sort of make out some words, but they're very difficult to read. What you are able to make out is someone has written "caca." Like literally into words. Right?
Phonetically.
Yeah, phonetically caca. Please be to people who are not comrades, disregard this pointing finger, which does not indicate where we may have gone.
Team, I believe. Can I refer to you as team? I'm still very new at this.
Spit it out.
I think your snake friend left a message for us. Or you.
Let me see it.
I like my undead gross hand like
You sort of like, it's in this dirt.
But like, was this hand moved from where it originally was? Because now it's just kind of pointing anywhere.
Yeah, you do notice it's pointing in a direction. Like,
Oh, it's still attached.
oh no, I mean it's been shattered, but the hand has been pointed in a direction on the ground next to the scrawling.
Towards
I hope
what?
that was
Anything
on
that
purpose.
we know?
Yeah, and if the direction is headed towards the Death Scar,
Is it towards Haven Spear?
you don't know.
Well,
It's pointed in a
I guess I
direction.
don't know where she's keeping Haven Spear.
No.
Do I notice where it's pointing because I'm so perceptive with myself?
I mean, you know what's in that direction. You just, if there was anything else in that message, you couldn't read it with a 7 roll.
I
Maybe
believe that finger is pointing in a direction.
I agree.
Most do.
Let's go that direction.
Well, we can't stay here.
Maybe she's hanging out with
What do
Dwight.
you mean we can't stay here? There's been our ships approaching us. They'll be here in half an hour. We have an undead army at our side.
Let's be nimble. Let's be quick.
We've got 200. They've got an entire armada. I know you want to fight them, but we need to wait. Hey,
Zombies,
I
do
made you a
push-ups.
promise. I intend to keep it.
Well, you see the horde. They had used one of their larger skeletal members as a hammer, trying to bang in the wood to the pretty cook, and they stop and they're like, they all drop on. They just start doing reps. One of them snaps their arms.
Does that look like a fight-ready force?
Suppose you're right. And there's nothing here for them to fight anyway, so we may as well become scarce.
And they can't somersault their way to victory, so
Well, one of them... Well,
that
no.
one could.
One of them could like a champion.
All right. So what do we decide to do for right now? The ships are coming in close.
I want to find Anya.
We should get any supplies we can get and get out of here.
All right. Go ahead and roll survival really quick to see what you can gather up in terms of supplies before you head off.
I don't think I've ever rolled survival. on
Yeah.
the show.
Wow. It is
16.
time now.
Is that everybody?
Nice. Yes.
12.
12.
17.
Nice.
11.
11. All right. So combing through the town as quickly as you can, you are able to salvage. Let's see. You're able to salvage the a work cart that Filbert has been using for your old famish business. Sir Bickleton is still there, so you're able to hook it up to, with some trepidation because you have some PTSD from memories, from riding in a cart with Sir Bickleton. But there's that. You manage to salvage, if you're interested, the Pretty Cook sign to the restaurant. You can grab that immediately. It fell off.
Everyone's feeling sentimental.
If you're feeling sentimental.
Where's the Pretty Cook?
You don't see him. You don't see anyone left in the town. You're able to salvage a stray, let's see. A smattering of 230 gold from just around the buildings, left behind by the villagers. And unfortunately that's, and you are able to, I'm pretty sure, you are able to salvage Iron Hoof's blacksmithing tools. That has been left behind and it's in pretty good condition. And it's portable. The forge is not, but the tools are.
Do I know how to use these tools? Like, do I remember?
Basically, yeah. Minotaurs of your clan have all sort of like a basic understanding of smithing. So in a pinch, you could bang
Smith
out some
something
weapons.
out.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should definitely take those.
Hey, 76 gold each for this. Not you, you're dead. You don't need gold.
Quick maths over here.
That's very presumptive of you.
Undead abominations might want to buy something nice for
Yeah,
themselves.
you're a child. What do you need with money?
I'll buy you something shiny.
Patronized.
Is there any, like, things I could dye my armor with or any, like make camouflage with around?
Like what were you thinking? Like blending into like trees and stuff? Or?
Yeah, I just want to like black out my my Captain Allhaven outfit so that it's more practical and
then absolutely
blue.
Iron Hoof's forge was equipped with various dyes that you can pick up if you'd like. It's going to take a little bit to do, so you might not be able to do it here on site.
Okay.
But once you find somewhere safe, then yeah, absolutely that could be
Take those
done.
with me.
Is there like a cloak or a hood or something I could put on that would make me look less dead?
Yeah, you find some drapes,
Cool. I fashioned something out of it.
some round drapes. It turns into a cloak very well.
Very fashionable.
Very fashionable. Might still be a little small for your body, but still manageable.
It's like you see a little bit of flesh here and there peeking out.
yeah, exactly.
I change back into my blue cloak
All right.
and such.
So you take care of all this. It takes a good 10 so minutes, and the ships are much closer now. What would you like to do at this point?
Are you looking at me?
Just looking
Well,
around. I have to see something.
What are our options?
Let's follow that finger.
Run.
We could go to that maze of your people.
I don't know if the maze would be very good to run to right now when there are people, the ship's coming this way. We would trap ourselves.
Maybe not.
Maybe later.
Unless you got boat making skills.
Nope.
Let's find Anya.
Let's just follow the
Let's
finger.
find Anya. Let's follow the finger.
All right.
All right.
So the finger points directly towards the Death Scar, and you load up the wagon with Sir Pickleton with all your scavenge goods.
Deathmane.
An explosion of bone shards. God, just every time you just get bone powder in all different crevices of your. It's everywhere.
Every time I think I'm ready, and then I'm just like,
But yes, the very impressive skeletal horse manifests next to Sir Pickleton, who also goes like.
Don't scare the boar.
anyone need a ride?
No.
You say coolly atop your undead steed. Definitely not a Death Knight.
Totally.
Is Deathmane bigger than my steed?
Actually, Deathmane comes up to about like right here on you. It's one of the larger animals that they own. Animals. So while it's not larger than you, but it is an impressive animal.
I'm just wondering if if they might be like buddy, or if they'd be like, whoa.
Oh,
whoa,
Deathmane?
whoa.
You've wherever this horse from the history of these islands is from, it is not your timeline. So you're not familiar with this horse proper.
So my bull is like afraid.
Your bull doesn't have a head. Your torso is the bull's head.
I'm a little intimidated.
Yeah. It's a stout animal. Yes.
I jump on the back of Deathmane.
All right, it's surprisingly comfortable. Deathmane's the place where his horse eyeball should be have these deep burning purple flames, and when it makes noise, it sounds like children are screaming.
Of course it does.
Never thought I'd say this, but yeah, I'll take the bull.
So yeah, you're like not today, undead horse, and you climb into the back of the carriage behind Sir Piggleton. You are basically your own mount,
right?
And you climb on top of Deathmane, and you guys head off in the direction of the Death Scar. Behind you, as you leave the village and as you get further and further away, you do start hearing the sounds of a squad of military whomever's hitting the ground at Fairheim behind you. They are, you see behind you that the Thizbanar ships have docked with Fairheim. So it's safe to assume that the Thizbanar military has now taken control of Fairheim proper. So,
Should we go back and tell the zombies to kill them?
The zombies are following you. It's just a little slow going.
I think not.
Be a waste.
Bring zombies with us. Okay, come on, zombies.
The zombies have found a very utilitarian way of following you, by the way, because you're traveling fairly fast on the back of these large animals. The zombies have all sort of coalesced into a ball, and they are rolling.
Katamari.
Behind you.
Is it moaning and like shrieking?
Yeah. Oh, it's a terrifying sight.
These guys are resourceful.
It's one of the most disturbing images you could think of. Just these limbs and bodies and heads, just sort of like.
Nothing is real anymore.
This is pretty harsh nightmare fuel. But yeah, they're keeping pace now behind you. Every once in a while, losing a hand.
Cool.
They're just perpetually making con saves, like, as they roll.
Just to keep themselves together, right? Fortunately, they have Dwight's necromancy to keep the most important parts on, or regrow parts. But this nightmare follows behind you for quite a bit until you reach the Death Scar proper through the woods. By then, your zombie ball has collected branches and like shrubberies along the way.
It's a tumbleweed.
Yeah, it's a giant undead tumbleweed. But having arrived at the Death Scar, you see that though your zombie apocalypse has ravaged through Allhaven, it doesn't seem like they've found the source of it yet. It seems the Death Scar is basically unmolested from all sides. There's no soldiers or anything that have come here. And you see the bone cathedral in the distance, in the middle of the Death Scar that you've seen before. You notice very quickly that a flight of stairs forms down the center, as if expecting you.
Well, we're home.
You first.
Warblin just stares into the abyss like, you've got to be kidding me.
Just looking behind you, giant zombie ball looking in front of you. Demi-lich cathedral.
I'm following you.
This is my life now. All right.
I'll follow you, but I'm not swearing my soul to nobody. Got it?
Oh no, he would never ask you for that.
I already did.
He's just laughing off.
No,
he just made a pact.
Kovacs, I'm afraid I'm going to have to collect your paladin license now.
oh, it's long gone.
Hand in your badge and gun, mate.
You guys just slowly start descending the steps. Sir Briggleton refuses to go down these steps, so he's just going to wait outside.
Are the steeds able to fit?
The Deathmane could fit, but it's a snug passageway.
Yeah, I'll just give him his little pat on the butt to go away.
Explodes. You're just covered in this like ashy bone powder, like from face to toe. Gets in your mouth a little bit. It tastes like chalk.
Isn't he handy?
That's one word for it.
Choking, maybe.
Right. And every time he explodes either into or out of existence, the wailing of tortured souls can be heard in the room, cascading off the walls.
Music to my ears.
Let's see. So you arrive at the at Dwight's house.
We'll find it.
They're like Back to the Future posters on the wall, teen heartthrob.
Actually, Dwight has been putting up several portraits from his time. From his era. A lot of them are not what you would expect.
The cultists been.
Oh yeah, they've been busy. The cultists have been hanging up pictures and folding laundry.
So they're alive.
The cultists, yes. The cultists have been put to work. In fact, as you walk down the steps, you see one of the cultists who's like, oh, thank goodness you're here. He's been making us put these up nonstop. Look at these. And he turns one of the portraits around, and it's a picture of Dwight when he still had like a skeleton body, and he's sort of like doing one of these,
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. There's so many of these. Anyway, he's expecting you downstairs. I gotta get back to this.
I go up to him and, tap him kind of on the hip because I can't reach his shoulder.
Yeah.
Hi. Don't sign any contracts, okay?
I'm gonna try not to. He's so scary. And he just puts the art just right up on the wall as you pass.
That is remarkable.
That's actually a piece of fan art someone drew us. I asked. We had a hashtag. What was it like art drawings for Dwight or something like that. And I was like, within reason, if you draw us a piece of fan art that you think Dwight would have in his cathedral, I'll make it canon. And of course, someone drew like the. So that is now canon up in Dwight's bone cathedral. All right. So you make it down this winding set of bony stairs, and the first thing you hear, as you descend into like the antechamber, and the Gothic architecture made of these calcified bone shards starts spreading out before you. The first thing you hear is the laughter of children, which you would not expect to hear in this kind of terrible monster's lair.
Nope, we should turn around.
I'm with you.
I follow the voices.
This is either a trick or there really are children here.
Could it be?
I'm still going.
All right.
Is it the orphans?
Either way, I say we investigate.
Trixa is the first down the steps. And the first thing you see are these little cloaked children scurrying about this demi-lich's lair. The demi-lich himself, Dwight, is kind of hunched over a table, going through like either little alchemical regions and stacks of paper. You see some of the orphans climbing over his skull. You see in the background the two or three other cultists folding laundry and setting up furniture. You see as you arrive in the room, Filbert is present. He's safe. He looks over from his little stack of old fags, just like, oh, guys, you're okay. Oh, thank goodness! I thought we were trapped in this undead monster's lair forever, just by ourselves. Also, from the back, you hear just these big booming voices. What? They're okay! And out from the corner, you see the pretty cook emerge. And behind him, Ironhoof. Ironhoof and the pretty cook have made it to safety here in Dwight's lair. They rush over and they sort of like pat you on the shoulders like, oh, thank goodness. We thought the worst had happened. Are you all right? We heard there was a zombie apocalypse up top.
Yeah, it was her.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, who has Ironhoof's stuff?
I guess I have it, or would you grabbed it?
I thought you were grabbing.
I grabbed it. I have it.
All right. Oh, you brought my tools. Oh, thank goodness. These are irreplaceable. They're passed down from generations of my family. Thank you for this.
Yeah, remember that.
Gotcha.
Well. I guess it's a Lich family holiday then, isn't it?
One of the orphans runs up to you and it's like, hey, look what we can do now, You notice, possibly a horrifying fact that they are being followed and are possibly commanding this small swarm of skeletal rodents. The orphans. Orphans have, one of them reaches down, one of the little rats climbs up in his hands like, this is my zombie, I'm a necromancer now, yay!
Never mind, don't like this.
Turn around.
Good job.
Thank you! Dwight was really scary at first, but then he turned out to be okay. Then he did this thing where it's like, the pact is sealed! And then we could do this!
Yeah.
Oh, you did the soul selling thing? Yeah, that's not good.
Dwight's just in the corner going, do you have any idea how much energy living children have? I had to give them something to play with.
Dwight, children can consent to soul pacts.
They certainly are. It's not a soul pact, first of all. Alright, you want the soul pact, you have to work with me for a good long time. I don't just hand those out.
What's the bloody difference?
Well, I don't own your soul, first of all. I just give you some work benefits. You're welcome.
So what's the downside?
What downside? We're trying to save the world.
The smell?
So you just gave these children powers because you're philanthropic?
No, I gave them powers to stop annoying me. Look how much fun they're having. Children, tell them how much fun you're having with the undead rodents. Yay! Perfect. Dwight has not had to deal with kids for a very long time.
Used to the babysitter.
Some of the kids are still climbing over his, nightmarish tendril mass like it was a playground. And he's just like, at least on the upside. He reaches down and grabs the small ruby shard. Eki was able to retrieve this from the top of the end spire. It seems they've taken my phylactery and broken it up into pieces.
What?
Clever.
How does that work?
Magic is complicated. This seems to have been manipulating the mists around the island. That's how they were hiding the fleet from Thizbanar. Without this, however, he places it directly in between his forehead, and it kind of melds right into the bone. They've lost that control, and we are back in control of the mists. And you notice from outside the opaque, we'll call it the window in his cathedral, you see that the mists, now that he's placed it back in his forehead, have started to reconvene around the waters. With this back in our control, I know the location of every Thizbanar ship on the water. There's no need to have the mists dispelled anymore.
I have a thought, Dwight.
Yes?
We set a trap. We force them to leave, thinking the mists are cleared. Then we summon the mists, and they can't leave. Pandemonium erupts.
Got them all from the king.
And we destroy them.
I don't know how we did the last part, but...
Dwight peers into a scrying mirror, and he seems to take your suggestion pretty seriously. He scries across the island, and you can see that several Thizbanar ships have already landed. 3 have docked in Fairheim. A good portion of them have docked in Allhaven. However, there are still countless ships still out in the water, right? And Dwight, he touches the shard of the phylactery in his head, and he waves his bony tendrils across the scrying glass, and you see the mists around those ships still on the water thicken. Right? The ships are trying to navigate their way to land, but you see that the paths are cut off from them magically with this thick mist, and they start to sail around in circles. So while you have not cut off all of the Thizbanar fleet, because a good number of them have docked, you have cut off a good portion of them. lost at sea for the time being.
Good.
And what about Winkerbean?
He scries along his glass, and he does find the Black Lotus itself, this towering, very gaudy looking spiral of what appears to be petals set on top of a warship, is back at the Allhaven docks. So he's not on the water. He's already landed. He's back in that city.
So what you're saying is we've reactivated the mist, and now this island is just one giant Thunderdome.
What's a Thunderdome?
A fight to the death with walls.
They created some new words while I was gone. Sure, yes.
It's a merc term.
Indeed. Thunderdome. I like it. Well, I have some news about our new Thunderdome. Now that you've retrieved this shard of the Phylactery, they will no longer be able to make their wish upon the fully realized ruby. Which means, while we are technically safe for the time being, there will be people coming for this. And as I understand it, you've all temporarily lost your homes on this island. And I cannot be housing you and your friends forever. You look around and there's like this grand, spacious cathedral, perfectly suited to house any number of you. And he's just like, I need my personal space.
Press X to doubt.
So, what I'm willing to do for you is to build you a new home. There's no choice at this point. I can't have adventurers running into here trying to recollect the phylactery. So, we're going to build a new structure. He kind of cracks his little undead digits together. Now, I haven't done this in several hundred years. Has the architecture of the times changed recently? Are there any modern building methods I should be aware of? I don't want to seem old-fashioned.
Most definitely.
I hear breakfast nooks are very popular.
What is a breakfast nook?
I didn't get that far.
I mean, your necropolis here looks cool as shit, so why don't you just do that again?
Well, I could, but it's...
This is largely frightening. I don't know if I could deal with this on a day in, day out basis.
Well, what would you be comfortable with, Warbland?
A cave of bunker of some kind. Hidden.
That seems tactically sound.
Exactly.
I feel like I want a lot of natural light, though. I've been dead for a very long time.
Maybe we could put a greenhouse on top.
That sounds
disguise.
Dwight's like, greenhouse.
And perhaps somewhere for me to train these orphans into a fighting
Train them
force.
to do. Oh, that's
Training room.
Can we have a stable for Mr. Pickleton?
Oh, yes,
When
stable for monsters.
Well, definitely.
Oh no, he just spends time in the abyss until I summon
Can I have a room with a lock?
I could just lock your cave. Or do you just need a gnome cave?
No, excuse me.
Well, I don't know. Is gnomes require small caves?
I grew up in a giant cabin.
Oh, okay, you know, giant compared to you. I got that. Okay, it's giant cavern. Yes, the answer is yes.
Thank you.
Locked.
Can I have maybe an area to make myself presentable, like a vanity?
All right.
Don't judge me, Dwight. Just put it on the list.
I'll put it next to your sunlight room. Vanity.
Was the breakfast nook a serious edition?
I mean, do you want
I
a
want
breakfast nook?
breakfast.
As he's writing this down, you see him in real time manipulating his this bone structure that seems to obey his very whim, and you see he's connecting a portion of his cathedral outward into the dirt, and the calcified bones start digging and creating space through the earth. you see him make one layer, which is this layer that is like a staircase leading up into your structure. He carves out one floor, and then he carves out another. Everyone roll. Hold on a second. Let me make sure this is right. Everyone roll insight.
Nat 20.
12.
Good.
6.
4.
It's okay. Werblin's got you covered. Werblin, you have adventured enough to know the composition of what he's making. He's literally crafting you your own dungeon.
What do you mean dungeon? Like,
When adventurers go dungeon delving, right?
aha.
We're the bad guys.
You are being crafted a literal dungeon for you to use. So one floor, another floor, another floor. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So far, he's carved out 6 full floors of this dungeon, reaching up into, starting to reach out through the dirt and erupt into the sunlight itself. This bony spire just protruding through the earth, raising towards the sun. And within these rooms set to your specifications, not exactly decorated or filled out yet, but the structure is there.
That's what IKEA is for. Our roommate trip to go for.
Exactly.
All the items at IKEA sound like they're like dungeon bosses.
He pauses as the dungeon begins to form out on the exterior of the ground above the Death Star. He's like, "Oh, what do you want the entrance to your building to look like?"
Intimidating.
Well, that's vague.
It should say, not the secret hideout on the door.
There could be like gargoyles with like swords.
And a great big skull. And the mouth opens and forms a door.
Ooh.
All right.
Sorry, that just came to me. I don't know
That was inspired.
what's gotten into me lately.
Okay.
I'm starting to like this, and it's alarming me.
You kind of like jog up top just to see how this is panning out, right? And you see this massive skull start to form into a doorway, and where the skull ears would be are these just very intimidating, very like dark-looking gargoyles coming out of the bone itself, reaching out as if screaming into the daylight. And right across the top of the skull is a big sign that reads, "Not the secret hideout."
Perfect.
As your dungeon is being built, one of the little orphan kids, Sass, runs up to you, Trixa, from below, and she tugs on your sleeve. She's like, "Hey, it's me. You remember me? I'm one of the orphans. My parents are dead."
Yeah. Sass.
Yeah. Anya wanted to give you a letter. She dropped us off here, and she wanted to make sure you had this.
A letter?
Yeah, here you go.
Thanks.
Dear Trixie girl, I am leaving you a snack. Snack pops out of the letter. Snick is official ambassador to Anya while Anya is away. Tall man is good mate for you. Little culture man very angry, do not touch. And chicken is chicken. Make sure you tell chicken, Anya will always think of him as chicken boy. I have lead on potential mate and plan for a world domination. You can be slave of honor if you treat Snake well. And it's signed, Dasvidanya.
Oh, I hug it and I hug Snick.
Snake is like, you don't understand Snake.
No.
Unfortunately.
But I still say, hello, Snick. Be my new friend.
Did she call me Little Culture Man?
Yes. Little culture man. Sass is like, Snick says that Snick is very happy to be with you, and he hopes that you guys can work well together.
You can talk to Snick.
Oh yeah, Anya taught us how to speak Snick. It's simple once you get the hang of it.
Can you teach me how to say Snick, I love you?
So yeah, Sass leans over and gives you like a series of hisses, like tiny blush. But yes, you have now acquired Snick, who will be hanging out in your cloak
Great.
from now on. And any of the orphans can translate Snick for you.
Tell him I'm sorry I can't talk to him. Actually, I think I have a ritual that would let me talk to him, but I have to spend some time doing it.
The little kid leans over and goes, Snick. Snick's like just kind of gives you like a... And then Sass is like, okay, I'm done. Yay, I'm a snake necromancer. Yay! And runs off.
Necromancer.
A necromancer. Here we go. Blah, blah, blah. All right. So while this has happened, Dwight is starting to put the finishing infrastructure in on your dungeon, Robert. Is there anything specific you want this dungeon to look like from floor to floor? Like from its just the skeletal structure itself, not necessarily like furniture or added stuff, but the structure itself. Are there anything specifications you have? Because it is your dungeon.
Like at least one floor to have a training area.
Yep, that's already
train
done.
my army.
Yes, that's already in the works.
How big is each floor? Like, what's the floor space like?
Floor space is like, let's say, each floor is the size of a good 2,000 square foot home.
Oh, wow.
Right? It's a pretty spacious place. And he has created the entrance to each floor going down or up in the back of each room. So whoever works their way up will have to work their way through the room to get to the back to get to the stairs. Right? Classic dungeon.
Can we add some traps on one of the floors?
Yes, that's stuff that he can't exactly do with the actual structure of it. That stuff you can put in later. But for now, just the actual, like the walls, the floors, the ceilings, any requests for what they look like.
Is Dwight giving us like a renovation budget for later? Where we can add all these little things that we're going to do all
We'll see. Look, building a dungeon is hard work. All right? One step at a time.
I don't have any.
Maybe just
dungeon is super.
just like a trick room that's like a big ball pit, and they have to get through it.
Trick room?
And they're like scared that there's going to be something worse.
No real
Psychological horror.
So
I like
threats.
Yeah.
Just
And then the next room is just like... And then the next room is just like, spikes!
gotcha. But right outside.
So if they escape that, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, it was just...
That was kind of fun.
Spikes. Gotcha. All right.
Could it be all 13th floors?
Yes.
Every floor is labeled.
There's an elevator with buttons, but they all say 13.
Right. That's how the adventurers get up initially.
Can the room after the spikes just be incredibly lavish, like red velvet on the walls, like gilded, like the inside of like a casino in Dubai or something?
Really fancy room after death room.
Does it have slot machines too? They're all like out
Sounds
of
like
order.
a yes.
Bony gambling machines.
Well, can they be like Can they look like they're really not bony and like really comforting to throw them off their game?
Crossing out bony, comforting. Comforting gambling machines.
Who are we planning on having as guests?
It's a diversion tactic. Also, we won't have to clean as much because if the carpets are red, then you can't see the blood.
That's a very good point.
Exactly, I've done this before.
Wirblin's experience in dungeoneering.
You got it, mate.
All right. While you're coming up with ideas for rooms for this dungeon, there is the. I know we've already said not the secret hideout, but there is the task of naming the structure.
Brenda 2.
Veto.
That was an Anya suggestion.
Just think about it for a second.
The erection. That's so funny.
We'll get an email about that tomorrow. You can't name your dungeon the erection.
What if we make it fancy and cultured, like La Erección?
That's not real.
It's an old language from back when I was around. Dead language
The
now.
old erection.
The old. Yeah.
Thanks, Hunter.
You know, we're gonna have that in your back pocket, guys. The old erection, but
I feel like the building would be
Pending
impressive.
approval.
Like tilting and goes to half.
But just in case, on the off chance we're not allowed to keep that name. I know.
X-nay on the erection, Eric.
It's time to stop.
It's all dark and dicey.
How about totally not the erection?
What if we called it the under dicey?
The under dicey. That is certainly a name I'm writing down. The under.
I mean, it's like above ground, right? Or do the floors go down to the ground? Or
So it's an entrance that goes below the earth.
Okay, so perfect. That's my.
By the
Does
way,
it have the greenhouse on top?
the greenhouse is going to be part of the dungeon,
Okay.
yes. Dwight is writing down these names, like, as you're coming up with it. He's crossed out, like, 7 erection, like, suggestions. It's like, come on, people.
What about the average cook? The average looking cook?
Pretty cook's like, hey! Excuse me!
I couldn't be about you, mate. You're far from average.
Oh, thank you very much.
This is a cook that can't compare to the cousin.
He didn't even understand that. I just insulted him.
All right, so far we've got yield, erection, and under dicey.
What about the winker bean sucks?
The winter bean sucks.
I feel like there's a more eloquent way to say that. And he was more than sucks.
La Winker Bean sucks.
La winter bean sucks. Sucks. La winter bean sucks.
That's the name of the fancy room.
But yeah, this doesn't have to be like a right now decision. You think about it. You know, Dwight's writing down all these ideas. If you have one, shout it out.
We call it the TBA for now. TBA now.
Yes, but yeah. So the dungeon begins to get finished. So far you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 floors to this dungeon, with the entrance right up top. The first floor has the most sunlight. Obviously, where the greenhouse will go, he's already developed these weird calcified potted structures for plants. That's your floor. One of the floors, these combat dummies have been formed out of sinew and a bone just in the middle of the floor. Now, obviously, right now these are made of bone. However, later on, the material can be either upgraded or replaced with something else. This is just the skeletal structure of the place. Skeletal
Are
structure.
we gonna have to Febreze this room with the sinew and the?
Probably. I mean, you are basically in organic death trap with Dwight's housing.
Charming.
I would think you'd be used to the stench of death.
That's why I want the greenhouse. I want to remember what it's like to be around living things.
I'm trying to forget.
One under that is a very Underdark themed level. You step in and you feel like pretty comfortable. It's like the calcified bones have taken on a dark hue to mimic the black rocks in the Underdark. And it's cavernous instead of room-like. And for you, there is a locked room separately on that floor for your purposes with a very strong lock so you can have your private time.
I just started inspecting it and like sticking a pick lock into it.
Oh, you find that you have the key to it. Like
I know. I'm
you're just practicing your
I'm trying to figure out if somebody else could do it.
It's actually pretty difficult. Seeing how it's not made of metal and it's organic, you just you stick it in and you hear a squish.
Oh, it's been years since I've seen one of these.
You're like, actually, you know what? Roll history. See if you actually come across an organic lock like this before.
12.
12? You have. You've encountered undead that have been somewhat clever in their mechanisms of either hiding treasure or hiding rooms. And what you're looking for in here is not a tumble. You're looking for a specific nerve ending inside the lock, and you find it. You hear the lock scream, and it unlocks. And you come to a very clean room. It's ready to be set up to your parameters, but it's comfortable, it's clean, and it's quiet.
I want to go running in.
Trixa runs in.
Hey!
I just grab
Is
her
this
by
your room? It's nice.
Ouch.
What are you going to do with the place?
Ouch!
Why?
This is the one place you can't go. And just like push her out and slam the door.
Fine.
And you, for the first time in a very long while, have silence, aloneness, and peace. Under Wordblend's level, and so it's the greenhouse, the training room, the Underdark level. Right under that is a massive, what looks to be stable in one part of the dungeon floor. The rest is unoccupied, but you see that you have several rooms for not only Sir Piggleton, but whatever other monster you happen to acquire through your journeys. You can stash here, and it looks like there's the infrastructure is in place to take care of any number of them. Within reason. Obviously, you're not going to house like a fully grown dragon in here, but monsters the size of Sir Piggleton will easily be comfortable.
Guys, let's go get a full-grown
Deathbane!
stable.
Walks into its own stable.
I just like knock on the floor. Oi! Keep it down!
Even from in your room, you hear the the telltale.
You got any rotting flesh or anything I could give him to eat?
I mean, yeah.
I don't know what he eats. Does he eat?
He doesn't. I mean, souls.
Give just a bowl of souls.
I don't think they have those at like Whole Foods.
Just you get to exist, buddy.
Yeah.
There is so right under the stable room, there appears to be another dungeon level, but most of it is this huge cavernous ball pit. With kind of chunky, weird-looking, sinewy balls in them. I know, but what's
Yikes.
Dwight gonna make these out of?
Yikes.
They're kind of bone balls with some. I don't know how else to say these words. They're bone balls with some stuff in them, sinewy stuff, and they fill this pit. And nothing else. And nothing else in this pit. Except this floor goes on to lead into separate other rooms.
Yes.
The pit begins to lead into a room.
The spike room needs a password to get rid of the spikes.
You're going to have to set that up. Because right now it's just these calcified bone spikes going.
Yeah. Guys, let's set up a password.
And of course, there's no mechanism. It's just this muscle, like lifting it up and down, squishing it. And the bones like crunch together each time and reform every time. It's really grotesque to look at.
You might need to necromance that thing.
How about Winkerbean sucks is the password, and then the spikes stop.
Winkerbean sucks.
And of course, the room beyond that is just like really nice, super comfortable. Like it's cool, you know. There's like the beginnings of some like a roulette wheel and like a weird pulley like gambling station. Dwight doesn't really know what he's doing, so it just like everything is a skull. You know?
Everyone's a winner.
Yeah. Let's see. That's so far. I don't know if that was 7, but that was so far. Those are the levels that have been built. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, including the spike room and the really nice room. More can be added later, but so far that is your dungeon, and it's free for you to fill out as you see fit.
So the fancy room is the final room?
The fancy room so far is the final room. It's just really nice.
Perfect.
But yes, so far this is either the yield erection or the under Dicey.
Guess we'll find out.
Strongly worded email.
Yeah, we're gonna get one of those really quick.
It was just erected.
Right?
It's a...
You can't win.
While these finishing touches are being put onto your dungeon, Ironhoof kind of takes you aside and it's like, hey, I just want to let you know, K-Tree left a message with you and your friends. She said something about you keeping your promise and Steelwall Garrison. Something about getting allies for the battle to come. She stayed behind and told Anya to take us and the children to here at Dwight's. So I don't know what that means, but apparently you promised her something in the past about that garrison.
What happened to her?
Well, her and the rest of our comrades were taken. She Top Button, and whoever else could fight. The lizards. The lizards put up a fantastic fight, but they were taken. Anya was going to help us, but K-Tree demanded that she take us and the children and flee. Dinkle is here. He points to the corner, and the little 5-foot ogre is sitting there, kind of depressed, looking like, it's been a very long day for poor Dinkle.
Dinkle, we're here for you.
Top Button didn't know what the bloody hell he was getting into with all this.
Daddy said he'd be back.
And he will.
Do you know when he'd be coming back?
Very soon.
Oh, okay.
I just go and put a hand on him.
He's incredibly nervous.
We just have to make the bad men go away.
Which ones? There seems to be many.
Yes, all of them.
Oh, well, that one is a straight up skeleton.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Okay, well, it's just very scary.
It's okay, Dinkle. I judge him too. Can I attempt to persuade him that everything's gonna be okay? And
Yeah, for sure.
we're gonna get his dad back.
Yeah. Roll persuasion.
16.
Okay, yeah. You're fairly comforting. You touch his giant but not giant hand, and you reassure him that it's sooner or later Top Button is going to be returned to him, and he seems to feel a little better.
I've lost somebody too, mate.
Oh yeah, who did you lose?
My child.
Oh, it's gonna be okay. Daddy is a real good daddy, and if he finds your child, I'm sure he's gonna make sure your child is okay, like he makes sure I'm okay. Everything's gonna be okay.
Orphan just kind of pats him and nods and walks away before he evokes any sort of other response in himself.
As you walk by Dwight, he's like, does that ogre want to be a necromancer too?
No.
Alright, just checking.
Tala considers following Warblin and then just leaves it alone.
You don't want to sneak after him?
No, she knows better now.
Oh no. Okay. So, so you technically the day has come to an end. You're settling in. As at the end of the day, as Dwight is finishing up your dungeon, he does at the bottom craft out living quarters for you because you can't just be like, now we're in this empty room and I'll just lay down here on the floor, I guess. He carves out a good portion next to your dungeon. It's really not the most comfortable looking space, but he does carve out what appears to be an inn. You know, really horrific looking bar top and tables. Like some of it bleed. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool. Yeah, your bedrooms, much like in The Pretty Cook, have been carved out above the inn proper. The beds are comfortable, if a bit, irony smelling due to the blood and viscera. Dwight just sort of like emotions for the Pretty Cook is like, there, now you can have your home back, get out of mine. And the Pretty Cook's like, okay, is there a functioning kitchen? And Dwight's like, living people. Okay, give me a second. And he just sort of carves out this backspace with like this. He somehow gets this oven to form. Like there's a little system to catch fire under this oven that uses human molars that kind of like crash together and with sparks, and it like a little fire appears so you can cook. And the Pretty Cook is like, that is some fucked up shit.
Does anyone have that sign?
I love the smell of hemoglobin in the morning.
And that's exactly what it smells like.
Sign.
I don't think we grabbed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep upstairs.
I think someone grabbed
the Pretty Cook sign?
No.
I thought you loaded it up on the...
Well, we can make a new one.
Dwight carves out in like bleeding letters, the Pretty Cook. Because like, that's not exactly the design I had in mind for expansion, but I guess I can make that work. And of course, next to the inn, Dwight carves out a small but effective forge area for Ironhoof to work in. And again, it's not the greatest kind of living space, but it'll do. It's like a giant like. It looks like a person's mouth open in anguish, screaming, and fires coming out of like his throat hole, and that's the forge. Like.
I give Ironhoof the chunk of adamantine that I got from the market guy. Like, here, make something cool.
Oh yeah, you have this and adamantite from last time when you cleared out that restaurant. Yeah, I'll see what I can do with this. I'm not really familiar with this. He pumps the forge and the face screams and he's like, oh no, okay. That's going to take some getting used to. Just sort of like puts the chunk of adamantite in the thing's mouth. It's like, yeah, we're going to figure that out. All right, thanks for that. I'll get back to you.
Can I give my orphans their first training session?
Sure.
Sick.
What would you? Okay, so the orphans are all sort of scattered around. There's a good dozen of them. They're all necromancers and cultists at this point. So, you kind of gather this group of orphans around this, quasi evil but not really orphans. What do you see?
Are we in like the training room of our dungeon?
Yeah, you sort of lead them. It's like, yeah, come on, kids, let me show you this.
It's like, everybody grab a sword. Have we got like wooden swords or something? Or bone? I don't know.
Yeah, they're monstrous bony training weapons.
Beautiful.
Right. The kids are like, woo, weapons! And walks over, they start taking these weapons out of these racks. You notice that a lot of the handles kind of like have their own heartbeats, and a little tiny like viscera and blood just kind of ooze down their hands, but they're totally into it. They're like, yeah! And they're like hitting each other with them. You know.
So how many orphans are there?
There's 12 of them.
12 orphans. Oh, okay.
12 orphans.
Okay. So I will just tell them, like, form an orderly line or group, grid, whatever.
Off to a great start.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead and roll. Give me a charisma check, just to see if you can round up these tiny children.
Like a save or like a persuasion or
A save, because these kids are very young.
14.
Okay.
I'm gonna be up in the corner, just like with a toothpick, just observing.
All right. He's training kids. This is going to be great. Yeah, the kids make some sort of a formation. One of them lies down and takes a nap.
You there! Yes, you. Wake up!
One of the friends is like, oh, yeah, she just sometimes falls asleep. It's a medical condition.
Well, if she doesn't want to be here, then she doesn't have to learn. Perhaps we can find another job for her.
But the rest of the 11 kids, minus the narcoleptic child, line up in formation for you.
How many of you don't even know your own names?
Sass is like, oh, not me, I know mine. And the others are like, it's weird that it hasn't come up till now.
Oh no, I'm just in the corner, like shaking my head.
They're all just like, it's kind of weird that we don't have names, you know? What do we usually call each other? Orphan one.
If you don't have a name, come up with one. Because what I'm going to teach you is that true power comes from oneself.
My name is Explosion Murder King!
Your name is Explosion Murder King. And don't you ever forget that.
Explosion Murder.
That is the old
It's
erection.
literally his middle name. I can get behind that.
Let's see. Yeah, what have you done? You've just given 11 kids the leeway to come up with their own names.
Hell yeah.
And I'll have them all for you next session. But for now, we have at least Explosion Murder Kings.
Oh my
Like
god.
the smallest one.
Of course.
Explosion Murder King!
It's a girl.
That just sounds like a really, like a one-word, really long German name or something.
Explosion Murder King!
So yeah, your little squad of death soldiers are shaping up perfectly.
Nice.
Is there anything else you'd like to try to get them to do during this training montage?
Mainly, I just want to give him a little speech, you know? Like,
You all have lived your entire short lives looking up to one individual or another. Katri, Anya, even Dwight. But I'm here to teach you that true power comes from oneself. And you can trust no one around you because they do not experience what you experience.
He's right.
They cannot draw on the raw power of oneself. I am not your leader. You are your own leader. Any of you who wish to leave may do so. Those of you who wish to learn how to smite your enemies with your own willpower, you stay.
I like Daenerys.
Roll persuasion, but with disadvantage. That was very long for a group of very short attention span children.
15.
15. All right. You've lost all but 3 of them.
Is one of them Explosion Murder King?
Even Explosion Murder King has gone off running around playing with sharp objects. So you have 3 of these children left standing in a row. The others are running around the floor, whacking things with their swords. I mean, you've raised a child, Werblin. You know exactly how this was going to go, right? But 3 kids, not bad.
Not bad.
3 of the oldest kids are like, I guess we'll do what you said. Yeah. Yay! Yay!
That's right, only the strong will remain.
One of them flexes. Yeah!
This is a matter of attrition.
What's that?
It's where the weak are weeded out because they suck.
Everyone sucks but us! Yay! All right, well...
flashcards and pretty colors, mate.
Oh, I'll make some flashcards.
You probably will need some flashcards and pretty colors. But yes, you have 3 of the children you can now command to go under whatever sort of training you have in mind. The others, it may take a few more sessions of convincing, right? But yes, you have a death squad of 3 children cultist necromancers who are around 10-ish years old.
Beautiful.
What level are these kids?
I mean, the kids, like 1
Like 0.5.
0.5. Like, yeah, they're teeny tiny. So, is there anything you want to do with these 3 kids, training wise?
I mean, if we're trying to wrap up the night, I guess them sorting themselves out as the cream of the crop is enough.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Can there? I know blacksmithing stuff, right? Because I'm an iron hoof.
Yeah.
Am I able to like put the other kids to use and be like, hey, do you want to learn? Like, so they can still learn something useful. Like I can take them to the forge and show them how things work or something.
All right, you're gonna have
They're
to.
not his way.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go up and roll a persuasion check with these kids.
I'll see. 4.
4.
Giant undead minotaur. Hey, kids.
As you're chasing these children around, it's like, you want to learn how to smith?
Wait, come back!
Do you want to learn how to smith?
I'm like, wait, you can make something cool like this! Where are you going?
You are left
Why
with
are
a
you
narcoleptic child. And she hasn't run because she's asleep. So, if you want to take the sleeping child into the forge to teach her your ways...
I feel like even I know that's probably not a great idea.
Just wakes up next to a screaming face on a forge.
Do I need to roll something to, like a narcolepsy check to be like,
No,
you
you
wake
can,
up?
you can just pick the child up if you want and take
like,
her with you.
This'll work. Come, young protege. I have much to teach you.
You take the narcoleptic child to the forge.
There's going to be so many flags on this episode.
You know what? Let's let it play it out. You've taken the narcoleptic child to the forge. What happens now?
Is the other dude there?
Ironhoof? No, he's gone off to collect supplies and just start to set things up. It's just you and this child in this terrifying forge of nightmares.
I guess I start showing this like passed out kid stuff, hoping that she will wake up.
You just start forging random
like-
stuff and hoping the noise wakes her.
I'll be like, so like I think maybe she's just being like, I don't know narcolepsy. I just assume she's being willful, and I appreciate that because she reminds me of me when I was a young iron hoof. So I'm like, I feel like I need to show her something interesting enough for her to wake up.
Okay.
So I'm like,
Okay.
hammering stuff, throwing it into the flaming mouth.
Okay. All right, she's good. There's a roll I'm gonna have to make here for when this child wakes up.
Is it a narcolepsy roll?
No. That's a con save.
Have you just this entire campaign in the background, this one narcoleptic child, you've been making con saves for her?
Just behind the scenes. Yep. Now she's asleep.
She's awake and fair hunt.
No one else needs to know that, but I know that.
They're all at the death scar, but this child just fell asleep.
That's right. That's what's most important. She fell asleep during breakfast. Anyway.
Well, now we have a breakfast nook for her to curl up in.
It's true. It's true. Okay.
I've never seen you react to a roll like that.
I'd like you to view this very beautiful natural 20 I just rolled for this child.
I can't tell if this is a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
So as you're working away at this forge,
Explaining stuff to a sleeping child.
there's this strange quietness. You know, there's no snoring, there's no whatever. And by the time you turn back, you see this enraptured child, just like literally osmosisizing everything you're doing with this screaming head forge. You know, she's like.
She's the one we're gonna have to like look out for.
Even you're like, oh, that's a little unnerving.
No screams, no nothing.
Nothing, just like watching you. Can you teach me to do that?
Yes, I can. I get excited because I feel like this is the first time since I've come back that somebody actually like is paying attention to me.
And then she asks, how do you make the face scream when you hit the metal?
You mean like this? And then I do the thing that makes the face scream.
And she's like, good.
She's the one who just like has like murder scrawled over in the back of her class. Maybe it's better that she was asleep.
Does she have a name?
She'll have a name next session. Right now she's narcoleptic orphan. Evil narcoleptic orphan.
Oh no, maybe I'm like, this is like foreshadowing. Like I'm teaching her all the skills she's going to use to take us down when she's a grown up.
Man, in like 20 years.
Don't
Give her a reason to.
Slow burn.
All right. So, the night is coming to a close. Is there anything else? I know Hunter just left for probably the bathroom. Is there anything else?
I just want to cast the ritual Speak with Animals and spend some time talking to Snick and getting to know him.
Sure. How long does that ritual take?
It just says one action.
Oh, well, it's barely a ritual.
Yeah.
Hocus pocus. Now I speak to snakes.
I don't know.
You do like the hokey pokey, and suddenly the ritual is complete. Oh, kill my face! I've missed. I'm sorry. It's been a while since I have had to do anything physical.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
We can talk sometimes.
Yes, I will be hanging out with you. Anya said that maybe you should, take care of the children cultists while she's gone. They seem to like you.
Yeah, I think they're working on that.
Oh, yes, I saw that Kovacs is turning them into child soldiers.
Yeah. Do you know where Anya went?
She didn't tell me.
She didn't tell you.
No, she thought it wouldn't be safe for me to know.
Why did she leave you with us?
Well, she has very big trust in Snick. And
Yes.
she believes that if she leaves Snick behind, I will be her ambassador to all of you, to the Black Steel Isles, and to evil Dwight Zombie Master.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, how are you feeling? How are you
Oh,
doing?
pretty good. You know, last time Dwight did the thing with the pact is sealed to me.
Yeah.
And now I can do this. And you see like this little other, this is a skeleton snake. This is my friend, Bony Snake.
Yeah, that's really cool.
This zombie snake just kind of drools.
Good job.
He doesn't do much.
That's okay. You made it happen.
Keeps me company.
Yeah. I'll keep you company too.
Oh, thank you. Okay, Bony Snake, you can go.
Okay, if you ever have something to say, you want to talk to me, you just like tickle my ear with your tail, and I'll try to speak to you.
Okay, we will do this thing.
Okay. Good night.
Slithers back into your hood. Is there anything else y'all would like to do before the
It
day
occurred to me
ends?
that at all times, while you're doing numbers and calculations and writing things, that you just have a giant snake model behind your
That's true.
DM board.
Sometimes Snake gets in the way of die rolls and has caused a couple of natural ones.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Snake has been directly responsible for some of the worst stuff that has
Snake's
happened.
the ultimate
That-
boss, the bad guy in the game.
We need to get rid of this.
It has not caused a nat 20 yet, so I'm just kind of waiting for the karma to come back around.
So evil orphan just happened on her own.
Evil orphan just happened on her own. Yes. All right. So now that the night is over, you settle into your monstrous bedrooms with a couple things in mind. You know that whatchamacallit? You know that Katri has left you with the task of getting backup from the Steel Wall Garrison. You know that Winkerbean has your daughter in Hallhaven. You know that at some point, now that there's probably going to be attacks on your location, the Allhaven military will be relying on their adamantite weapons more than ever. So taking that forge is still a really good idea. And in the morning, there is one more thing that you discover. As you wake up, surprisingly, recovered, even though you're sleeping in what amounts to be a nightmare organic death trap. You all gain a long rest and recover all your HP and all your spells. There is as you come back into the cathedral proper, you see Dwight slaving over his scrying disc mirror, and you see a couple of familiar figures on this scrying mirror. You see what appears to be a large group of soldiers standing atop or around a hill. You see two squads, one with 10 soldiers each, so 20 total. You see what appears to be a veteran officer on top of this wooden structure. And as you walk closer, you see that this wooden structure is a gallows. And standing towards the back of the gallows, in chains, are Shady Jeff and Walter Killmaster. You can't hear what's happening, but obviously they've been caught. And this area does not appear to be inside Allhaven. This is a hill outside the city somewhere. You can't hear anything happening through the window. You can just see that they're reading off this scroll, and they're making this big thing out of it. Dwight turns to you and is like, I figured this may be of interest to all of you.
You could say that, yes.
I know that these two humans have been associates of yours, and they've been very useful. I wanted to give you the option to intervene, if you so wished.
Are they being held by the Thisbanar military or the Allhaven military?
It looks to be the Allhaven military.
Yeah, they've been pretty helpful.
Do you think they'd still believe us if we went in as the Haven Spears?
Sure.
It's possible.
No one was ever suspicious.
I don't know these men. Why would I risk my life for them?
They risk their lives for ours.
Well, in that case...
Who's with me?
Sure.
Of course.
Well, all right then.
Well, then you had better hurry. Kovacs, you want to do that thing we did before with the ground and the horse?
Just for me or for everyone?
Oh, I can make it work for everyone.
Are you best friends now?
No, we figured out a thing. It's fine.
We can get there very quickly. It's just not going to be comfortable.
Let's go.
With the horse, please.
Deathmane!
Even Dwight's like... He hooks that metal carriage onto the back of Deathmane that you've used for Sir Piggleton. It's the best I can do at short notice. Everyone in.
Wait, is this the one from Waterdeep?
It's of the same model.
Okay. I don't know if it was the exact same one.
That's not the exact. That one is destroyed.
Yeah.
But this one is reminiscent.
This looks fine to me. Can I ride on front?
Sure, Trixa, why not?
Just keep your eyes and mouth closed.
Okay.
I just get inside and take a seat and just await my fate.
I also have my beak, so that helps.
It's true. It's true.
Do I
is
get
my
in or do I walk
costume,
behind
like-
it?
You have to sort of squeeze in.
She had it.
I like.
Yeah, and then she like hulked out of it.
Warblen,
I think that's like destroyed.
Warblen, you're the first one into this carriage. You find a spot towards the back, and then Tala is second and last into the carriage, and her massive form just sort of squeezes into the metal carriage, pressing up against you gently.
Hi.
Well, at least I won't be flying all over the place.
How are we going to make her look like a Haven Spear?
Oh, buddy. She's done it very well before.
I
Oh,
did.
you do have the
Sure,
remnants of that costume.
the
You have
costume
to try
is
to put it on again.
In tatters.
Just like try to like. So do I like just have it on me? Like
What if we set up a diversion? We pretend you're the enemy, and we are the brave Haven Spears trying to fight you off.
I like that.
that actually? Is
Then the people will believe us when we try to rescue our friends.
So they're in a little structure, right? Like a little house.
The soldiers?
Yeah, is it?
They're on this hill. They're on this hill overlooking some plains. So it doesn't appear they're in anything.
So there's a wooden structure of gallows, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we run up to the gallows in our outfits, clamor for assistance, and then you
I
run
just
up
burst in and start swinging at people.
You could just be chasing our cart.
Can I swing at it?
I mean, sure.
As long as you
Don't
miss.
hurt anyone.
if they see death, mate.
If they see death,
As you guys are huddled up, you notice Dwight's skull just floating in the midst, like, go on. I'm part of this planning too.
Let's just give
want
him
you to
a
know that You
beak.
make me uncomfortable. I just like to let everyone know that you make me uncomfortable.
Do you want me to send zombies?
Sure.
I would say no.
Oh, I can
I
send
mean, the more distraction, the
Would add to our
better.
credibility.
Yeah.
So wait, can I in this role playing scenario?
Yeah.
Can I be the leader of
Leader
these
of the
zombies?
zombie horde.
Sure.
That would look very, very cool.
If it makes
Yes.
you happy.
How many zombies do you think you need? Like 50?
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
All of the zombies.
would
We
look
just got
much-
these 200
It
zombies.
would look
Thank
much
you,
more
by the way.
convincing.
we're going to be probably killing these zombies to put on a show, so maybe we shouldn't kill our entire zombie army.
Or we could just,
Can just get
kill
more.
the soldiers.
That's true. There's always more.
I'll send 100 with you. I'm gonna keep 100 just in case.
Like as spares.
Yeah, just in case zombies.
So
You never know what you need just in
the
case
death
zombies.
main issue.
Could Deathmane ride next to me as if it's like my beast thing?
But if he's pulling the carriage, I
Oh.
don't see how.
What if we came out some distance away and then approached them?
Where's Sir Piggleton?
Sir Pringleton's in your dungeon. He's napping in your,
Perhaps we should use Sir Piggleton.
Will he get us there fast enough?
Of course.
Dwight looks in the scry mirror and is like, it does look like they're about to hang your friends.
We should just drop us off somewhere a distance away where they don't see Deathmane and we'll run up and cause a scene.
Yeah.
Sure.
Perfect.
All right, so you get on Deathmane's back. You guys are squeezed in. You're riding behind Kovacs. Dwight tears open a hole through the earth itself, and hurls Deathmane through this cavernous tunnel. And as it gallops, you feel in this cart. You lurch forward, and you two collide into each other. Yeah, you thought you were not going to get thrown around, but here you are. You feel the dirt and stuff just start going past your hair and face, and you understand now why your eyes and mouth should be closed, because you're just everywhere. You, as the rider of Deathmane, are largely immune to this uncomfort. You can see, but there's no real point since it's all darkness anyway, right? All you can really see are the glowing orbs of his eyes and the burning hoofs as he digs through the earth proper, and you just hurl yourselves through the ground. It doesn't take much time at all. It only takes maybe under a couple of minutes to reach this hill. Soon, Deathmane erupts from one of the hillsides, splattering grass and earth and even a tree just aside as you emerge from the cavernous maw that Dwight created. You feel the metal carriage finally come to a stop, sway and settle back onto the ground. No more jostling for you two.
At this point, it's like one of those like scenes in a rom-com where they're like, they fall on top of each other from like breathing dead breath into space. Like,
I legitimately, I'm 3 feet tall and cannot breathe.
oh, sorry.
Tala just muscles her way out of the back of this carriage.
Sorry, I thought you were speechless. I thought it was a moment. Never mind. Plan?
You've got like roots and worms in your hair. You're fine.
Well, let's get on with it then. What's everybody?
Yeah,
what's the
Kovacs,
delay?
let's get on with it.
What's the delay?
So should we give you guys like a head start?
Chase us.
Well, I mean, you need
We'll
to...
stop at the gallows.
Are we like above them on another hillside or?
You've come out of a hill about 100 yards away from them. You can peek around said hill and see the gallows, but they don't see you yet.
Are they below us? Or are they at the same elevation?
It's the same elevation. There are trees around if you wanted higher elevation, but this is a fairly kind of it's flat but with kind of windy plains, like little hills. You know.
I've got an idea. Can I climb a tree and then like glide into their location?
Yes, yes you can.
Then let's do that.
Yes you can.
In theory.
Am I still chasing?
Go ahead and give me.
I'll go in and warn them of the impending attack. And then
Can you feign death?
Are you talking to...
Because we have to
Oh.
vanquish you.
Yeah, we have drama classes in Ironhoof Academy,
Perfect.
so I little experience.
I'm gonna mark that down. Okay.
I don't have faith in this, but it's all on you.
Like intro to drama. I'm not a
Of Academy. I want to watch like a school, like a Japanese anime, like school, like
Where it's like Glee.
yeah,
kind of
but
like
with like
Minotaurs.
just dating extra like after school activities. Like oh, it's perfect.
Like so and so stole my axe.
Right? It's just Haruhi Suzumiya, but with minotaurs.
I just want to make sure the zombies know that like they can kill Allhaven people like if they get in the way or something.
And also let them know that I'll be leading
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
so they need to listen to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Not with air quotes, they should actually listen to me.
So you see the only way for these zombies to have gotten here on time. You look behind the carriage and you see a line of them just sort of like grabbed onto the back. Most of the zombies have lost a good portion of their skin and flesh going through this tunnel, but they're fine. You know, they climber back up
Should
one at
come
a
back.
time, popping joints back into sockets.
Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Some Robitussin, you know. It's undead Robitussin. All right. So, what is the plan now? As your zombie horde begins to file in behind you.
So we're getting close to the...
Well, I mean,
He has to fly in.
yeah.
Fly in,
Yeah, you fly in.
warn them that something terrible's coming, and then right on cue, you come over the hill screaming, make a big show of it.
Tell them there's no time for the execution because something much worse is coming.
Yeah.
Great.
Stall. We have to stall.
Yeah, I'm great at stalling.
Do I need to do like evil monologue thing when I get there, or
If
just
you feel the need to.
sure.
okay?
Play it by ear.
Okay.
We can do
Use
this.
my drum.
Just making sure it's really evil. Okay, let's do this.
All right, Werblin, you don't need a roll to climb on top of this tree. It's fairly easy. But I will ask for an acrobatics check from you to see if you can glide in.
Here we go. Hey, 19.
19, nice. So you dust off your Captain Allhaven outfit. It's still super utilitarian. You let these you let the mesh wings unfold under your arms, and you go straight for it. You see Werblin just sort of take off and glide at an angle off this tree, do some turns, fairly impressive turns.
Can I do like a little barrel roll?
Yeah, you've somewhat mastered this suit at this point. You're like, I got a feeling for this, you know? And as you glide in closer, you're able to hear more of what this sergeant of the military is reading off this scroll. You start hearing him say, it's like, we expected this of that psychopath Walter Killmaster, but Shady Jeff, you disappointed.
Does he appear to be the ranking officer here?
Yeah.
Okay, so am I getting close to where I'm about to...
Yeah, so you come in. Is there a certain way you want to land? You roll high enough to just determine how you want to.
I want to, like, do one of these, like, wings out, come in, like, feet first onto the gallows and, like, do a little slide.
All right.
But as I'm coming in, I yell, Sergeant!
The execution stops. Walter...
I'm gonna, like, slide across the whole gallows, actually.
Like a cloud of dust, like, kicks up and just...
but so small.
Like, covers the sergeant's face, like... What? And you out of the corner of your eye, you see Shady Jeff sort of try to hide like a...
It is I, your superior, Captain Allhaven.
Oh, the soldiers just sort of stops like, what's Captain Allhaven doing here? Is something wrong? Are we about to be attacked? The sergeant walks up and he's like, Captain.
Attaboy.
Well, what can we do for you today?
I come with dire news. Your subordinate guessed correctly. This execution needs to stop immediately. We are about to be under attack.
What? And the soldiers start like looking around, having no reason to not trust you, Captain Allhaven, since you saved the town from a poop monster.
I think we should start like screaming and running.
Tala lets out like a big like, or like an unearthly scream.
Right.
Undead thing.
An undead minotaur bellow.
Yeah.
We have a giant menace coming towards us, gentlemen. Untie these two and give them a sword. These are dire times.
But sir, these are traitors!
I gave you an order.
Walter's like, you better listen to him. He is a captain.
Don't push it, prisoner.
Sorry, Captain. Yeah, sorry, Captain. So yeah, with under duress, the sergeant's like, all right, lads, let's untie these two. Hand them swords. And so they start to untie their wrists. And do you round the corner as this is happening?
Wait, have they?
We're all running.
Yeah.
Okay, so as they're untying their wrists, you guys come out in your Allhaven costumes, running very dramatically. So, do you follow them out?
Yes.
Okay. Out of the corner comes this raging minotaur abomination. The soldiers are, they're terrified. They've never seen something of the like. They take their spears and swords and they nervously point it at you. The sergeant tries to give the squad orders, trying to keep them in formation. And of course, right behind you is this small legion of undead coming out of the woodwork. Just some of them with flesh rotting off their faces. One of them with the broken kneecap. Who knows how he got that?
Was that the gymnast?
Yes, he was the first one out. Yeah, his arms stuck like this. All right.
Take the big one alive. Orders from the city.
You now, Atala, you now have their attention as they're kind of creeping up on you.
And then I just like spin my axe, and then I do like a ridiculous like, you pitiful mortals, you will never defeat me. What's that?
I would say, leave her to us. You handle her minions. We are your heroes, and we'll defeat their leader.
Somewhere back in the Bone Cathedral, Dwight's watching on the mirror after you give your monologue. He's like, those acting classes did not pan out. So first, Tala, go ahead and roll deception for me.
Oh no. It's a 2.
It's a 2. Okay. Do you have anything to add to that? Is that just a dry 2?
Oh, like can I add the stuff we were talking about earlier? Or that's
Deception.
Deception. If you have anything in deception.
I do not.
Great. It's a dry 2.
Fantastic.
I said it was intro classes. I didn't say
Was my quip any sort of assistance to that?
You go. I'm going to allow you to roll a d8 to add to her roll,
Okay.
if you wish.
3.
Woo! 5.
We're on fire.
5. So the soldiers kind of just stop, look at you. The nervousness somehow evaporates. One of them's like, I don't buy it. I don't think she's here to hurt us. Are you actually here to hurt us?
Yes?
Where's
Stupid?
this-
Whoa.
Seems like a plan.
Can the zombies, are the zombies attacking? Because they should be attacking.
No, the zombies are just like standing behind her.
out of me.
No, they should be attacking.
Sure.
Oh, you said they should be attacking.
Just go
You see me like behind all the soldiers jumping, like fucking
So then I guess I just backhand.
I just want to be like,
back.
zombies, go.
Okay, the zombies are like, somehow even the zombie acting is bad. Like,
So the zombie, that happens, but I'm also slapping Kovacs, like where all the plans are happening at once and it's not making any sense. Was that convincing to
I also want both of you to roll deception on this slap.
Oh, come on! It's a 5.
9.
9? All right. So, it's one of those big wind-up stage slaps
Or I
and...
telegraph when it's about to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And they see you do this, and Kovacs, you've been hit the other way somehow. Like the hand comes this way, and you're like, oh, and
Just actually done it.
and the hand, the zombies that are coming out to attack them, you've hit them, and they've just kind of scattered, and the human soldiers are just really confused and not sure what to do. It's like, so wait, so she's on our side. Yeah, she's attacking the rest of them. Yay!
Okay, this isn't.
No,
Valiant Minotaur!
no, you idiots! She's attacking us.
But she's helping us.
Look what she did to Hyperion Hell Phoenix.
I am Hyperion.
Zombies go flying, and your arms just sort of hang.
Shit.
What?
It actually seems like he's got things under control. I mean, it's
They'll take care of the big one, but you need to go after the underlings.
Okay.
There's dozens of them. Damn it!
Okay. Well, go ahead and roll a performance, Captain Allhaven, with advantage because you are in charge here.
I want
my roll's a
to
bit
act like I'm trying to save one of the soldiers from a zombie trying to attack him, but like miss the zombie and stab the soldier.
6. I jinxed it.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on. So, yeah, the acting's sort of not on point today. So you're like, no, you should help us defeat this evil. Just as Trixa stabs a guy, since she's close enough to you where you're giving these orders, they all sort of turn to look at you just as you're like, yeah, this is going to be really smart.
I meant to get the zombie! And I turn around and stab the zombie.
So everybody's even more confused, like which side?
She hasn't rolled deception yet.
It's okay. Go ahead and roll deception. See if you get away with that.
Oh.
Wow.
That's 10.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
Double
The
digits!
biggest roll we've had so far, I think.
Hey, my roll flying in was awesome.
It was great. It was great.
Badass.
You definitely landed. And that was impressive. Right. So with a 10, as Captain Allhaven is getting their attention, all eyes are on you as, you sort of like, you do one of these. The zombie is very clearly in front of you. You're like, oh no! And you looked away at the last second, you're like, oh, this guy. Oh, and it's like stuck in his collarbone. It's like, oh, why?
I'm so sorry!
That's exactly how you say it. I am so sorry, guys. And like, the problem is, the zombies are just not very intelligent. So as you cleave into him, the zombie, he's like, It takes very long time for him to die. Stands up, shuffles over another direction.
All right. I'm gonna start hacking through some zombies. Like I fucking mean it.
Don't ruin our zombies.
Okay, so
More where that came from.
the soldiers are getting a little, a little wise to what's happening. They're like, wait. Didn't we just arrest one of the All Havens for treachery? This seems a little weird, don't you think? And they're going to make a roll to see if they catch on.
Wait, did they arrest her for something? Well,
No, they arrested Walter. He's the head of the All Havens.
oh, right.
He's
The Haven
literally
Spears.
he's literally your leader.
Yeah.
The sergeant rolls
Good
a
point.
17 on insight.
Can I roll to cut that guy's head off before he says anything?
What you can do is you can all give me one last deception roll, and if you beat a 17, you can. We'll see if we can.
That's a 20!
Oh, shit.
Natural 1.
Oh!
Hold on.
I just keep my mouth shut.
What is it, deception?
Yes,
13.
13. You two don't beat the 17. You do. Just okay.
Math is hard.
Trixa, what sort of super convincing line do you give these soldiers that have just enraptured them completely and been like, no, absolutely, you're right. You're just.
This Minotaur has brainwashed us!
I have!
We're barely in control
The
of our actions.
The sergeant's like, you're right, I've heard that Minotaurs brainwash people. Yes, that's absolutely a thing they do, right? Yes, that makes complete sense. And as the realization is dawning on him that, yes, Minotaurs are evil brainwashing fiends, Kovacs just steps up and swings a sword and... he gets a zombie, but the zombie was very close to one of the soldiers, and you just hack one of the soldiers' heads right off.
Wait, can I?
I can fix that.
Release him from your control, evil Minotaur!
No!
I told you we were under attack. They brainwashed my comrades. We have to get them. We have to take them down.
Okay.
They're under my control. That's why they're killing your men.
I am Death, Death Phoenix.
All right. As the squad starts to get into position to attack the brainwashed Hyperion Hell Phoenix, all of you make a perception really quick while this is happening.
God damn it.
14.
17.
17. You easily see this, and you can tell your friends of this. But as you're monologuing your evil monologue, and as they're getting ready to whatever this fight's about to be, you hear a piercing, almost scream, almost ear scraping, cacophonic scream, right? And you hear the beating of wings.
Uh-oh.
From the sky, you see this golden armored form slide down amidst the soldiers.
No.
Blonde, golden tinted skin. Right? Massively heavy plated, enormous warhammer. On her left leg, and you'll do this because that's the last place you took a swipe at her. What leg was below the knee has been severed and is now replaced by a pure black adamantium blade. And that's where we'll stop.
She yell at anything?
Oh, well, yeah.
What is it?
Oh, he understands it.
Oh, that's right. You now, she's yelling the words over and over, swift death to evil. And that's where we'll stop for today.
Oh, I knew this would come back. It's
Yeah, dude, I was thinking about that shit the other day. It's like,
And that's what
ASMR.
Holy Haven Spear, Batman.
Whoa, those
gosh.
are some really great acting roles. I love that.
Oh, golly, we sure
That's
got ourselves
amazing.
into a little can of worms there.
The craft was strong today with everyone.
You know, I've been dead for 400 years. So it was a long time when I took those
You
classes.
should have really, brushed up on some improv exercises before.
Yes, anded. A little bit more.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, you guys. Well, we got your dungeon down. For next time, come with ideas for the name of the
Definitely.
dungeon.
I pitched mine, but I'll come up with more.
Chat has suggested dungeon.
Dungeons.
Doesn't that mean it's not a dungeon?
I guess.
Very much.
Not
Well, it's already said not the secret hideout.
Grammar does not allow for this lie.
So, are there any announcements you guys want to make before we end the show today?
I just got the music video for one of my songs for my album.
Sweet.
It's on my YouTube. It's on my Instagram bio. Check
Which
it out.
one? Which song?
She don't know. The one we opened the session.
I know that one.
It's got inflammatory lyrics, so everyone knows it.
More inflammatory than the erection.
Older.
Not quite.
direction.
Not quite.
An inflammatory erection.
Oh no. Get that checked out.
Well, everybody's putting in suggestions now.
please send us suggestions for the dungeon name. Anyone else have any announcements?
Freedomint.
Freedomint. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us on this Labor Day for Dark and Dicey. I believe Nate will be back next week. Is everyone here next week?
Yep.
It's going to be the first time in a long, long time.
It's my birthday next week.
It's your birthday next week. Happy early birthday.
Thank
Hey.
I'll be 12 years old.
Tala's going to suddenly have like a party hat in character the entire next session. No one will
Are
address
we
it.
playing by RuneScape rules? Because that's super valuable.
It's
Fucking party hats.
Gotta make some gold off of that.
Like, what's
right.
it, like 3 mil?
I think it's inflated, actually.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us on Dark and Dicey. We will see you next week, 7 p.m., same Twitch channel. Good night, you guys.
Good night.